Are you tired of everyone having their hand out? Face it, retail's pay to play. Wish there was a better way to grow and scale your brand? Well, now there is. It all begins with effective promotion management, and that begins with calculating the ROI from your promotions. If only there were a free tool to do this. Well, you're in luck, because now there is. Before we go any further, we want to set reasonable promotional goals, and we want to set targets that we can reach. Before you know where you're going, you've got to go back and take a look at where you've already been. In other words, if you want to set effective goals, well, what do those goals look like? What kind of target are you trying to reach? Let me show you why this matters. Go to my website and click on the free promotion analysis tool button. On this page, you're going to get a wealth of resources that are going to help you identify exactly not only where you've been, but it'll help guide you to where you want to be. So as you scroll down, the first thing that you find on this page is this tool, the Promotion Efficiency Calculator. I designed this because I wanted you to think about how much money are you really spending on trade spending. Like I said, it's a little bit of a black hole, and a lot of companies struggle to answer this. So generically speaking, if my annual gross sales are $800,000 a year, and I spend 25% of that in terms of trade spending, then I'm spending about $200,000 a year to get my product in the hands of a shopper. Now, if I can save you 10% on that with the strategies that we're talking about now, then I can save you $20,000 annually. So the question at the end of the day, what would you do with that money? So let's change some of these numbers and show you how dramatic this can be and why this matters. So let's say, just to make it easy, let's say I am a $1.2 million brand. Okay. At 25%, I'm spending $300,000 a year on my trade spending. Now, let's say that I'm able to go from 5 promotions down to 3 promotions. I realize there's a lot more in that, but just stick with me. So let's say that I have an opportunity to reduce a couple promotions to eliminate them. And let's say that I'm going to save about $5,000 per promotion. Well, if I can save $15,000, there you go. Then I am reducing my trade spending by 5%. Now, that's one retailer perhaps. What if I did that in 6 retailers or 7 retailers? Imagine how much money you could save. So using that same example, let's say that I'm able to save $30,000. Well, that's 10% like we saw a minute ago. What if I'm able to save 20%? That's $60,000 that you could put back into your brand to help grow and scale. I just eliminated 12 different promotions, or a different way to think about it is I eliminated one ineffective promotion at 12 different retailers. And remember, this is how you make your brand more attractive to potential investors. Now, let's say that after you start getting really efficient at this, you're able to reduce your overall trade spending. Let's take it down to 20%. Okay, but wait a minute. Remember, we said that we saved $60,000 on promotions. So we'll go back to the $60,000. You just reduced your overall trade spending from 25% to 20%, from $300,000 to $240,000. And in the process, you were able to increase your efficiency from 20% to 25% for the $60,000. Now, as a percentage of your total sales, we're still saving a ton of money, $60,000 in this example. But the reality is, if you're saving 20% on your overall trade spending, you're most likely saving a lot more in terms of your efficiency, maybe 30%. And that's because you're more efficient, because you're using your knowledge to be able to choose which promotions are more effective. You're choosing the promotions that are going to do more to elevate your brand. My point is this. Play around with this and see how these numbers impact your sales. Use your best guess to define how much you think you're spending in trade spending, and then use this as a benchmark, as a goal. Set reasonable goals. Again, how much did you spend on a particular trade promotion? Back that out. Well, what percentage is that? Okay, now if you back out 2 of them, what if, for example, on a trade promotion, you spend $5,000, but now with your new skills, you're able to get more out of that. You're still spending the same amount of money, but now you're able to grow even more sales. Anyhow, play with this. It's free. It's my free gift to you. This is how I give back. Leverage this tool to help you set appropriate goals to maximize each and every dollar of your trade spending. Okay, so now let's scroll down and look at the promotion analysis tool Lite. So here you're going to see a lot of the things that you're going to see in a typical promotion sheet. So do your very best to complete this. Put in the name of the event date, how many weeks long the event's going to last, the fixed cost, anything and everything you possibly can. Now, if you don't have access to the data, to actual sales data, then you can go into a store, for example, and ask a store how many cases of product they sell on an average week, a regular week, without the promotion. And then how many cases do they sell on a week where the product is promoted? Now, I acknowledge that that's not a perfect solution, but it'll give you a good feel. It'll help you understand the dynamics about how all this works. So you've got your base units. Your base units are your sales in the absence of a promotion. Your incremental units are the extra units that you sell during those weeks that you promote. Input all of that. In terms of the dollars, simply multiply how many units times the average retail price when it's promoted, or how many units times the retail price, the average everyday price. That's how you get to some of this information. This is something I'm going to go much deeper in my Trade Marketing Essentials course. But just to give you an idea of how this works, to start to get you to think about what are the things that impact your promotions? Where can you save money? Where can you get a bigger bang for your buck? That's what this is all about. Well, after you put in all your calculations and you scroll down a little bit further, you're going to start seeing what those numbers may add up to. In other words, what is the price discount? How many base cases? Again, base cases in the absence of a sale. And I know I didn't show you this before, but if you hover over the question mark, you're going to see exactly what every single item is, what's involved in it, and what's important about it. So, as you're beginning to play with this, pay close attention to how everything can impact your promotion. For example, if you go up here again, and let's say for in-store demo cost, we're going to say they cost $1,000. Or let's say that we're going to pay more to scan the price down. So instead, we're going to spend 10 cents. So then go down and take a look at how that impacts your overall performance. This is what you need to be paying attention to. This is your opportunity to become an expert in your trade promotions. Now, the best part about this is the part I'm most excited about. After you do this and you play around with it for a bit and you really get to be comfortable with it, well, then you can actually email this to yourself. Put in your email address and your name and hit the scenario. Now, I'll tell you, it doesn't show up in your mailbox immediately, but it does come. And once you get this, hang on to it. Then you've got your scenario that you're planning. In other words, what are you forecasting in terms of this promotion? You want to be able to help the retailer understand what their expectations are, how many additional cases they need to have, etc. Now, after the promotion's complete, then go back in and put in the actual numbers. At this point, now you've got another scenario. You print that off and you can compare the two. And then you can start identifying what are the unique opportunities to drive more sales. This tool is so very, very powerful. And yet this is something that every brand doesn't have access to. Leverage this. Use this as you're beginning to grow and scale your brand. Use this tool so that you can take it into the retailer and say, look, this is what I'm going to do to help drive sales in your store. This is how much incremental profit or how many incremental dollars I need. And by the way, another thing you can do as you start getting a hold of data is once you start providing more insights, better insights to the retailer, savvy retailers might even reward you by giving you access to your actual sales data. In other words, they'll tell you how many units you sell on an average week. And then they'll tell you how many incremental units you sold during the week of the sale. That makes this a lot more accurate. So anyhow, there are a lot of different ways to use this, but use this. Do me a favor and help me raise the bar in the industry. Share this with any of the brands that you have a relationship with. If you're in a situation where you're able to co-promote with another brand and then you've got your scenario and then they've got their scenario and you put the two together and you take that into the retailer, that's powerful. These are the things that retailers really want. Retailers want insights, actionable insights that no one else is giving them, not the same canned top-line reports that your competitors use. Check out the Trade Marketing Essentials course if you want to take this to the next level and way beyond.